Hi, I'm Andrea Earle, and this is Canvas Tip of the Day, number 19, the Canvas calendar from the teacher point of view. You've probably already noticed that every time you create an assignment and give it a due date, it appears in the course to-do list. But did you also know that it appears on the course calendar? Let's go ahead and take a look. You can access the course calendar, actually your entire Canvas calendar, from the global navigation menu. The calendar will show all assignments that you have due from all courses in which you are enrolled, either as a teacher or as a student. On the right-hand side, I have a list of all the courses in which I'm enrolled, either as a teacher or student. I can toggle them on and off by selecting the little box next to the title. I can also change the color of the course by clicking the three dots or the kebab menu. You'll also notice that I have a course calendar here that shows all the days that I have assignments due. But the Canvas calendar isn't just for assignments. You can add anything to the calendar you want. It's a great way to remind students about upcoming activities, field trips, guest speakers, or maybe an upcoming exam. Simply go to the plus button, create a new event. Give your event a title. So maybe we're going to have a guest speaker. I choose the date. So maybe the guest speaker is going to be on Friday. I can choose the start time, 12:30 p.m. and ending at 1:30 p.m. It's important in the course calendar that you make sure you check the AM and the PM so that your times line up correctly. Maybe I'm going to pick the gym for the location, and now I can decide which calendar I want to add it to. Now, Andrea Earle, that's my own personal calendar, and nobody else will see that event. But maybe I want to assign it to my Sandbox class because they're the students who will be attending. When I hit submit, you will notice that it popped in here on Friday, guest speaker, 12:30 p.m. The Canvas calendar is also a great way to set appointment slots for your students. So maybe you want to offering tutoring or parent conferences, and you want the students to sign up for those. Let me show you how that works. You click the plus button, but this time, instead of adding an event, an assignment, or my to-do, which would be just something just for me, I can add an appointment group. I'm going to name my appointment group. Maybe I'm going to call it Math Tutoring with Mrs. Earle. The location, I'm going to say it's going to be in room 222. I'm going to select the dates. So maybe I'm going to offer tutoring Monday. And I'm going to do that from 2:30 p.m. Make sure you get that p.m. in there to 4:30 p.m. And then again, I want to offer it on Tuesday, but maybe Tuesday we're going to start at 3 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. And I'm going to add one more date. Let's do Wednesday from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Now, I want to divide those into 30-minute slots, but I could change that to 20 minutes. Make sure you hit go so that those appointment slots are created, and now you can view them all here. You can always add more at the bottom. Or if there's a particular slot you don't want to use, maybe you want a 30-minute break in between, you could take out one of those slots. So maybe from 3 to 4, I want to leave this open. I can just remove that one particular spot. Now I want to limit the slots. I only want 2 students to come to each spot so that the tutoring could be very personalized. I am going to allow students to see who has signed up because maybe they have a similar question to a classmate, or maybe they just feel more comfortable attending with a specific classmate. I can select the calendar. In this case, I'm going to assign it to my Sandbox class. And the details, I can just write a little message. Do you need a little help? Sign up for a tutoring slot. Spots are limited. All right. And now I'm going to publish that. You'll now see on the 12th, 13th, and 14th, I have all of the slots listed, and they're kind of a light color, not the dark for the other items on my calendar. Right now we need to inform students that there are time slots available. So I go to the first spot, or any of them really, click on group details. I check my title. Here are all the spots available. They're 30 minutes each. I've got my room, I've got all my notifications, and here I can see all the available spots. But to inform my students, I need to go to message students. Now I have two choices. I can message students who haven't signed up yet, or those who already have. I'll use the message students who already have signed up as a reminder to maybe bring your math notebook. I look forward to seeing you, or something like that. So I wrote a message to students. Tutoring slots are available. Please sign up from your Canvas calendar page. Each time slot is limited to 2 students. Thank you. So I've reminded students how to sign up. I've given them some parameters so that they're aware there will be 2 students per slot, and now I hit send. When I'm done, I can simply hit save, and all my students have now received a message. So now let's look at this from the student point of view. Here's my test student, and you will notice he has a message in his inbox. When I select the message, it says, tutoring slots are available. Please sign up from your Canvas calendar page. Each time slot is limited to 2 students. Thank you. So now the student goes over to the calendar page. And up pops this Find Appointments. When you click on Find Appointments, all the courses that have appointment time slots available will show up here. In this case, it's just my Sandbox course. When the student hits Submit, all of the available slots pop up. So let's say the student wants this Tuesday at 3:30. They click on the slot. They can add a comment. That's kind of a generic message, but really I ask them if they need help to please be specific on what topic. That way I can be prepared. The student then selects reserve, close that spot, and you'll notice all the other possible slots disappear, and just the 3:30 that the student selected shows on their calendar. If I return to the student dashboard, you're going to see that Tutoring with Mrs. Earle, December 13th at 3:30, now appears in their to-do list. Now let's return to the teacher view. You will notice most of the time slots are still in this faded color, but the 3:30 is darker. That shows me that a student has signed up for that spot. When I click on that time spot, I now can see it's test student 1, and 1 slot has been taken. And the message from the student is, I need help today. I can message that student and say, hey, don't forget to bring your math notebook, or please bring specific questions, or whatever it is I want. You can also add to-dos to your calendar under my to-do list. So maybe I need to remember to turn in a form to the office. I can add the due date. Maybe it's going to be due on the 20th. I can pick a time, 2:30. Make sure you put in PM. I'm just putting that on my calendar, and I can put details so that I remember. I hit submit, and now it's popped into my personal calendar, and only I can see that. This is also a very good strategy for students to help them keep track of things in their personal lives. Finally, the Canvas calendar has a calendar feed. If you click on the calendar feed, you're going to get a URL, and you can add that into any calendar program. Google, iCal, Outlook, doesn't matter. And that way you And your students, if they choose to do this, can see all of their assignments, appointments, reminders, all in one place. If you enjoyed this Canvas tip of the day, please like and subscribe. You can get to these tutorials directly at bit.ly/Earl Canvas tutorials, all lowercase. And coming soon will be Canvas calendar from the student point of view. Thanks for watching.